I keep like what? I feel like we're all supposed to be quiet now.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name. And thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name. And we're still here.
Call yourselves Title Town? Are you kidding me?
That's fraud.
It feels like a gray area.
Spoiler alert, Canada. Cup's coming back to the US of A.
There's way too much negative stigma attached to strippers.
I hate you guys so much.
My dog just shit his ass.
Awesome. My computer can barely handle that.
Hey, here we are in Craft Brewed Sports, and hopefully somebody somewhere can hear me because Scott is just straight up digging a tunnel, not even going through it. I see his smiling face and his dope lid right now, but I'm not sure if he can hear me. Early indications aren't good.
I can hear you, but
there it
I don't
is.
know if you can hear me.
We can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
You know what my favorite part about this is?
Yep, just like the
Mike-
old commercials, I can hear you fine.
Oh my God, the delay is so bad. It is so bad. Like we're talking like a good
dear
solid 5
God,
seconds.
I'm gonna have to get out and come back in. Good, dear God, I'll be back.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye. Hey, well, all right. So welcome to Craft Brewed Soccer, ladies and gentlemen. Ayden and Andrew sitting in here with you here tonight. Look at that. That is a beautiful jersey. Absolutely perfect number. Ayden, the intern, showing up loud and proud. How you doing, man? How's your night?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm not homeless like I thought I possibly might be right now, so can't complain too much.
That is absolutely amazing news. I don't want to get too much into it, but I actually had a friend tell me today that the solution to homelessness is if the homeless people were just not so mean, because then people wouldn't worry about them moving into their neighborhood. Yeah, that was an interesting take. So we're hoping that you're going to be here with us the rest of the evening as we have just as many more interesting and entertaining takes. Scott, I see you back. Your eyes look like they're moving around pretty good, pretty quick, pretty fluid.
Are we good?
Nope.
Not great.
Not great. Give me a wave.
Mother
Give me a
effer.
sound check wave. Clap. Sit.
His hand went from below
For the
to
love
right
of
here.
God.
Yeah. This is like trying to play, NBA Live on like that 56K modem connection, and your shit was just jacked. Like you'd be going to the hole. Next thing you know, Shaq has also rejected you and dunked on you before your like frame even refreshed. That's gonna be a great
You still
night.
think you were inbounding the pass?
me,
and
though,
you've already been blocked by
or-
Shaq.
Yeah, about every 20 seconds, Scott, we can hear you. About every 20 seconds, you pop in.
An angel gets its wings. Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Scott. You need to solve these problems because otherwise we're just going to sit here and talk football all day long. And I mean the kind you play with your actual feet instead of something that is basically a misnomer and a lie. So
I was going to say, I might be wearing the jersey. That doesn't mean I have
Well, you
the
as
knowledge.
well. I guess I'll just hang out.
that doesn't matter, man. We could talk American kits across the years, man. Like there's ways to talk soccer without talking soccer.
That is fair. We could do a randomly assorted fire or dumpster fire that just came up. But I do have breaking news. If for
Oh,
the
boy.
baseball fans out there, is
boy.
as of 1 minute ago, Joey Gallo just got traded to the New York Yankees. Breaking news right there
So
for the baseball fans.
two quick questions. One, who is Joey Gallo and where did he play
Who's
before?
Joey Gallo?
Texas Rangers is where he played.
Mook.
And he's a guy that hits a lot of home runs. That's all I got for you. I don't know why I'm full screen right now, but that's what I got.
Because you driving homes, that's why. Don't be shy. You've got this knowledge. You're imparting it upon the people. That's a good thing. I think that's great news. Joey Gallo, some dude from down in Texas who isn't on a team that cheats and hits a lot of home runs, went to the worst team in the league that nobody likes. So get your breaking news here first. Let's go to our resident baseball expert and get a quick hot take reaction from that news. Scott, how do you feel about the trade?
In 20 seconds, fuck the Yankees.
Mike would be so mad at me right now about just letting that dead air sit, but like, I'm sorry, I don't know what else to do. Let's lean into this. Scott, you could try rebooting the router, and if you're still fucked, then it's just going to be a fuck of a show. So hey, there you go.
Hey, well, love me back.
Okay, we love you. Bye-bye. Whew. So we all kind of knew tonight was going to be a little rough. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's interesting. It's not bad. It's just interesting. It's not a problem. It's an opportunity, as they say. God, we were going to come in here and talk tonight about how the Olympics have just been absolutely jacked and quite honestly, the worst thing around. We were going to do a rating scale for our beer. Someone put a comment in the show notes that said TBA, but I have an idea. Then I responded, stop yelling at me. I assumed it was Scott, but we can't rate our beers until Scott's back. So maybe to sort of like, stretch and pull it out, as they say in show business. Ayden, do you want to tell me what you're drinking tonight and rate it on your own scale of, how about Olympic memories? There you go. Just to fill in.
I was going to say, Drew, you always put me on the spot to just come up with my rating scale. I swear this has happened 5 times and I haven't even been here that long. But yeah, I'm drinking Old Chub. I'm drinking Old Chub from Oscar Blues Brewery. It's a Scotch ale. I was doing my best to give the fans what they wanted because it's 8% alcohol percentage. So I might get a little bit more drunk than I intend to, but we'll see how that goes. But so as far as Olympic memories, I don't want to do what Mike said last week where he just talked about Michael Phelps' muscles, but you really did put me on the spot here. But I'll go with Usain Bolt winning the gold medal and then knowing 50 meters in that he was going to win, and he just kind of looked to his left, looked to his right, and started jogging at the 50-meter point and still got the gold medal, probably set a world record. That's what I'm going to go with. But yeah, this beer is really, really good so far. It's, I don't want to chug it by any means, but it's a great sipping beer, and I'm having a pretty good time as you're taking a picture of this. And all right, what beer are you drinking today, Drew?
Oh, great callback, Ayden. See, you like to play the I'm an intern card, but man, you got a hang of this. Like, look, we don't know what the hell we're doing, and you play it off even better. Yeah, I had to get the pick for my Untapped check-in. I'm over here tonight drinking. This is gonna take me Stratophonic, I think is what that is. Stratophonic, yeah, from Levante Brewing Company. It's an IPA, 6.3%, pretty solid there. I'm excited about it. It's pretty good so far. It's got some good flavor, kind of in the middle range, alcohol content wise. It's got a high 3.96 caps on Untappd, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive about it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it the Muhammad Ali lighting the shit, what is it, the cauldron or whatever.
Olympic
Like
torch.
he had the torch, but he lit
the
thing.
fire, the flame.
Yeah, the flame. There it is. He lit the flame in Atlanta, and it was just like this huge monumental thing. Because honestly, I hate to admit it, but that was like when I learned who Muhammad Ali was. Like, I was young enough at that point that was like the first time I came across him. My parents told me the story, and I was like, because I remember thinking like he was up there and he, was dealing with some, oh great, now I'm freezing. Fantastic. It It was a great memory. I learned the story of who Muhammad Ali was, why he's such an influential and important character. So not just the lighting of the torch that kicks off the Olympics, which in and of itself is pretty cool. I got to learn about Muhammad Ali. So that's my memory. Scotty, I see you there. You ready to creep on in here, man? You feeling good? You ready to roll? Maybe. Okay, I got a thumbs up going.
Can you hear me now?
I can definitely hear you. I didn't mean to throw you on screen like that. I thought I'd give you a second, but it is what it is.
Nah, you're good. I mean, I'm sitting here waiting for technology to fix it. So
Fucking
I just want to put this out here, Drew. I wasn't alive in 1996 when Muhammad Ali, lit the torch, but even I feel like I would have known him in 1996 who he was. So gotta blame you a little bit on that
one. Who Muhammad Ali was before the torch, dude? Come on.
So first of all, I mean, Ayden, that's not surprising because you're a big 90s kid. I get it. You're a big 90s guy. Second, look, dude, I was a soccer player, man. I didn't know nothing about boxing or anything else like that. Like I was a sheltered young kid. I knew what I knew, and I needed someone to teach me and open up those avenues to discover it.
He was.
I mean,
that's like saying you were a football fan, but you didn't know who Shaq was.
That's an interesting parallel.
Thank you.
And if that's
true, I came up with it on the spot.
Wait,
I'm very and yet you complain about when I make you come up with ratings on the spot.
Shaq was.
So anyway, Scott, what are you drinking tonight? And were you the one that had the rating scale?
I do have the rating scale, and I am drinking for the second week in a row a double strawberry milkshake IPA. This one from Weldworks Brewing Company, though. I figured after last week I'd go on ahead and just do back-to-back to see which one had better. This one's pretty similar. Ass load of strawberries, got the lactose, everything going on, 8%. Just as delicious. The rating scale that we're going with this week is from now I lost it. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go from not knowing who Muhammad Ali is in the Olympics.
Oh, damn it.
to maybe USA actually earning some gold. So I'm gonna go with this is a very solid gold to start off.
All right, fair enough. That's what I get for being, open and honest on this show and putting myself out there and being vulnerable. What else could I have expected? Again, since Mike's not here, he's off in South Carolina hanging out and having a good time and completely forgetting about us. I'm going to try to fill in and read some of these comments, see what other people are drinking. Gabe is drinking the Rugged Outlook DDH Honey Oat Cream Triple IPA 9% from Humble Forager Brewery. Holy shit, dude. How did you take all the time to type that out, man? I would have just stopped after Honey Oat. But solid. It sounds delicious. Let us know how it is. Again, Mike yells at me about reading comments wrong all the time, so he'll probably find some way to criticize this because I only know It's Rock Robster Gaming is the handle. I'm sure that's a real human in real life that we know. But
it's Robert Taylor.
Thank you. He's drinking Master Chukcho, a dippa made with lotus, cashmere, and citra, 8.5%. Sounds delicious. Different flavor palette than Gabe, but both sound like amazing beers. And then, of course, our friend, one of the co-founders of the show,
doesn't have time to be on the show, but
doesn't have
snarky comments about technology, you son of a bitch.
Exactly. Sherm himself commenting, dropping in, saying, I love Scott with the Papa B camera angle this week. Listen, motherfucker, if you have time to do that while you're wrangling them chillins, you could at least come in here and help a fucker out. Like, we are struggling, bro. Like,
well, as soon as the best part about this is my computer's at 94%. So I can sit here and talk and also curse at my computer while things are going on. So that's an interesting way to do the show. We're 15 minutes in and we've talked absolutely nothing except for technology errors.
Holy crap, we are 15 minutes in. Oh boy, that is how did that happen?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm not doing my job.
Moving on.
Thank you for doing my job.
Hey, it's all good. Ayden, you've got a more important job tonight. You're distracting the fans from the disaster that's going on because you just keep coming out with the beautiful, beautiful outfits. What is this one you got repping over here?
I got the red USA now, so I went from blue. Now we're red. Now there might be more, there might not. You've got to stick around and keep watching to find out.
And that's what they call a teaser, folks.
That was a
Again,
hell of a tease, Ayden.
Ayden, the intern, just crushing it. Like, this is amazing. I will say too, it's interesting. You can tell that's the U.S. men's jersey because there's no stars for championships or anything on it. You know, because
I'm wearing a loser's jersey right now. You're right.
But you look good doing it, so that's all that
Thank
matters.
you.
That being said, we're gonna get into some show topics because apparently I'm gonna have to do this thing.
You're gonna
now.
have to drive for just a second, Mookie. Deal with it. You'll be all right. Let's lead things off by starting off with the Olympics because that's what's going on right now, and it's been just a shit show of a time for both the Olympics in general. The fact that it's a year delayed. As of a week ago, they didn't even know if things were going to happen because of the damn COVID cases that are rising in Japan. And instead, here we are. USA is there. I mean, the weirdest part is that most people like us are complaining about how terrible things have been for Team USA, but we still lead in the medal count somehow. But I guess that's where standards are. Mookie, what the hell was going on with us and everything seemingly?
Oh, okay, and everything. So basically, you're saying not only do I have to, continually fix baseball, but I have to learn and fix all the other sports. That's fair.
Well, you don't have to break down every single sport. I'm just saying, in general, we're losing in what? We're sucking in basketball. The women didn't look great in pool play. They had the 6-0 game, but other than that, they looked mortal, which isn't usual for them. Like, it's just been a nightmare for Team USA by our standards.
Oh no, it's been a nightmare across the board. It's been a nightmare in the pool too, which is surprising. Like, what I don't understand is it's so consistent every single sport. Now, something that I heard my man Tony Kornheiser say earlier this week on PTI that I agree with and I think plays into it is the whole year delay, pushing everything back. I think really fucked up some of the elite athletes who had training programs and regimens that were designed for them to peak at just the time of the Tokyo Olympics. And so, like, think about someone like Simone Biles. She trained for 4 years straight, doing every competition with her eyes set on gold in Tokyo. And then you put all of that on pause and be like, hey, you're at your peak right now. Just kind of like stay that way for the next 10 months or so. Maybe less, maybe more. We're not really sure, but just stay at that. She is a finely tuned Porsche or Ferrari running just on the edge of a red line, racing for an indefinite amount of time. And you can't not expect that to break down. And I think that honestly, it's hard. It's hard for athletes that aren't ready for that type of setup to deal with it. Ayden, go ahead. Jump on in here, my man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't disagree with your point, but is every other country also not having to do that? Was every other country's athletes also not on the same schedule and theirs were interrupted? Like, I get what you're saying 100%, and you're probably right. It has affected Team USA and in every single sport, every single athlete, especially like Simone Biles, things like that. But every other country is also having to deal with it too. It's not like we were the only country delayed. That's a very American way to think about this.
Well, so first of all, it absolutely makes sense, and it just shows you have a lot to learn because the most important part of this is only America matters, right? Like, let's be honest here. Only America matters. So let's start off with that. Let's all agree to that point.
Whoa.
Second. Now hold on. Let me get to my real point. Second. In America, our athletes are training 24/7, 365 for these things because, they can. In other countries, they got to go up and they got to, collect coconuts in their day job to pay to make a living wage to then be able to go and compete in sports. Here, we have an Olympic program that's year round and dedicated to this.
Every other country in the world is.
I did, yes, because in not the current Gold Cup, but the one before it, the team from Tahiti, I believe it was, or some other one of those island nations, their team they're all a bunch of semi-pros, and so literally one of the dudes on the team, his job was climbing up the trees, chopping down coconuts, picking them, and harvesting them as his day job, and then he went and trained and played on the men's national soccer team. I'll look it up, but that was a real thing that happened, and so that was the first thought that jumped in my mind. But
Shout
I
out
think
Mike.
about it.
Moving on.
Just because Mike threw that in there, and I don't know if we can talk about other countries and being like, yeah, everyone else just picks coconuts. So
I
just
is
have
Mike
to put
worried?
that out there.
I mean, look, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to paint with a broad brush, but there is a level of fine tuning that like you have to go to, because the other part about it, think about it this way: Simone Biles isn't out there having to push hard to find sponsors to continue to fund her training and things like that. Again, in other countries, their athletics aren't nearly as well funded. So in a way, the more time that they have to get reps in and compete on the professional level, volleyball is a great example. Handball is a great example. Where there are professional leagues in Europe where our athletes play, but that is the only opening for athletes in other countries to be able to get that level of training. And so another year with them developing in those gives them the time to get to that point. Whereas in America, the Olympic teams train in their camps leading into Tokyo, sometimes for as much as a year leading into that. So when that training gets disrupted, they can't go and just jump back into the top level competitive leagues to then try to continue their skills, because they committed to the Olympic program for a certain period of time. So again, not trying to make this into like a whole whatever, like 45 kind of thing and, create a whatever. I was just trying to work in that there were dudes picking coconuts that were playing on men's national soccer teams. Whereas in America, we got a bunch of spoiled losers.
That's fair enough. All right. What's the next topic?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Were you saying
I
anything
heard
during
you
that
ask a
entire
question.
stint?
No, because I'm still waiting to see if there's a giant delay. I have no idea.
Spoiler alert, there is.
Yeah. Man, who's in charge of the cameras?
Hey, remember that entire show? Remember that entire show that Mike did where he was muted because his shit just wouldn't work and he just sat there folded arms angry? Well, here's my turn.
Now you know the feeling. Yeah. So, I mean, I will say this much. Y'all give me shit for my things breaking and whatever, tripping on themselves a little bit here and now, but at least mine break consistently so I can fix them. Like, you two may go down once in 100 shows, but when you go down, it's like a hard out. Like, there is no coming back. We is just fucked. So again, Sherm continues to sit over here and ramble on about who the hell knows what, because he's clearly too busy to come on with us tonight or even call in on the drunk line, but he can text in comments on the YouTube's feed. So thanks for that, man. Just leaving me and Ayden out here just floating in a sea of disaster while Scott's fighting over Spectrum fucking his internet. But Mike did say the Ayden jersey changes are amazing tonight. Best sight gag since Drew green screen in his ND gear. Now, you're absolutely right, Mike, because I don't think we got to you, Ayden, for the last one before you put this beautiful piece on. But I think now give me a chance here. Is this
one guess?
One guess.
Just kidding. You can have as many as you want, but I don't know how long we want to spend time on this one.
Is it in the Bundesliga?
It is a country.
Oh shit. Are they in Africa?
Yes.
Macedonia.
Incorrect.
Damn it. Okay, pass.
They beat Team USA in basketball in a scrimmage.
Oh, Nigeria.
There you go.
Damn,
that's me right now.
That's gonna be my next guess. Yeah, beautiful. Wait, Scott's here. I thought you were here. Oh, he's just super froze. Okay, we're just gonna remove him for the stream then, so I don't accidentally put him back in. Oh, now we can't. Right. Now we can't hear him at all. Oh, now we can hear him.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, now I'm out.
This is fun. So to the next topic about the Olympics, because there were actual things we wanted to talk about. Okay, so Ayden, what did? No, sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot. I was going to put you on the spot, but I won't put you on the spot.
I mean, you haven't stopped putting me on the spot before, so I mean, feel free to give it your best.
That's fair. I'm struggling to be. This is a lot for me right now, so I'm just trying to keep this shit together to get to the halftime.
We're staying afloat, though. That's
we
what
are.
That's what
we
matters.
Are. You know what? You know who we are? We are that guy that finished 8th in the men's 400-meter free stroke. Again, I'm going to murder the country name, but I think it was Tunisia. And I remember we were watching it and we're like, oh man, hey, look, a guy from Tunisia finished 8th. Like, wow, you don't usually see them in the swimming competitions. And then we ended up turning it off and going to do something else.
Oh, there's an
And,
echo.
all right. I think we're good. I muted Scott. I think we're okay. We turned it off, walked away, came back, came to find out that dude, he finished, I think it was 5th in his heat, but somehow 8th overall. And so he qualified for the final. And then in a stunning upset, came back and won a gold friggin' medal. That, I mean, it was absolutely stunning. If I could remember who it actually was, you know, an underdog story, things you love to see. Scott, did you pick up on that swimming finish?
He's gone. So what you're saying is,
Oh, he's gone from both.
This is going to be the best show of all time.
Oh, clearly.
No, I'm
top
back.
rated. Top
He is
rated
back.
of Belly Up. Right. So, anyways,
Now is my audio fucking up with everything up?
No, you're good
cool.
now, man.
Yeah.
But
All right, let's go back to Simone Biles for a minute.
We haven't started on Simone Biles, but let's do it.
No,
Yeah.
no. Well, Mookie mentioned it, and I know we didn't want to just gloss over it. So, obviously, if you've been living under a rock, you haven't heard that Simone had to pull out of the Olympics because she was having personal issues. And it turns out she said that it was for her mental health. Well, that led to a firestorm in the last 24 hours where every single expert has something to say about it. And I just can't believe the fact that we're sitting here after the past, 3 or 4 years where mental health has come to the forefront as a problem in this country. And yet everybody has the take that she bailed or she quit or that it's something wrong with her, driving me nuts.
So, Aiden, am I the only one that thinks Scott is completely hammered? Like, is he drawing out all his words?
It's
That's
either
because
that
of
or
my
the connection.
shitty-ass connection. Damn it.
Okay. I was just trying to tell
We
if it was
can
on
pretend
purpose or
that it's
not.
because he's hammered that the draw is coming out.
Let's go that route with it. So honestly, Scott, that's not what I haven't heard that people have been telling her that she quit or whatever. And if they are, fuck them. That's ridiculous, man. Look, you could see it in her face. Like, she was just not right. And especially in a sport like that, where you have to be so precise in such a short window of time. I can't even imagine how stressful that would be. And then also to have the entire have the entire hopes of a nation put on your shoulders. I giggled because Robert Taylor said, "Can we hurry up and talk about football training camp?" I'm sorry, OTAs don't count. Simone,
Training camp is officially open, though. Drew said, "Is that?"
I refuse to acknowledge that until Aaron Rodgers shows up to camp, and we all know that ain't happening until like week.
He
15.
showed up 2 days
today.
ago.
What? No way. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
You know what? I must be just like David Bakhtiari, and I must not be very close to Aaron Rodgers then, because I didn't know about that.
Well, anyway, finish your thought on Simone, though.
I respect her for pulling out in that way, because if she wasn't right, if she couldn't mentally hone in and complete the stunt she was going to try to do, she could have gotten herself hurt. You're flying through the air, spinning at such a high speed. If you don't land right, you could snap a leg and you could Joe Theismann yourself right the fuck out of here. B, she made the right call to save a medal for her teammates and for the nation, because those other women have been working for years, if not their entire lives, to be in that situation. Granted, it's unfortunate that Simone didn't realize that she just didn't have it until she hit that first vault, because that put them behind the 8 ball. But those 3 women rallied and knocked it out the fucking park. They stepped up in events they weren't expecting to compete in at all, and they brought it home. So I'm so proud of that team. I'm so proud of Simone for being able to do what's right for herself and the rest of her squad. Fuck all these other people who don't understand what it's like to be competitive, but also understand the bigger picture than just, roll the ball out there, let's play. So, Robert Taylor, what you got to say about that?
I don't know why you put it on me as you asked Robert Taylor a question, but all right.
Well, I was just gonna say that it's just a bunch of gym class heroes. Everybody has the take that she shouldn't have quit or whatever like that. But I mean, has anybody ever actually competed on the world stage with an entire country expecting her to just go out and dominate? Like it's almost like Simone was her own villain because she was so amazing the last Olympics, and she's been so
Dude.
amazing in her career since that everybody expects that there's nothing that could stop her, and she was just supposed to go out in there and dominate. Well, I mean, that's just not how it
So
works sometimes.
let me
So
ask this question: were expectations different for, let's say, like a Michael Phelps kind of situation, because everybody expected him to win the gold medal, and he did. And my main thing is I think social media is causing these issues to come up with people where it's like mental illness and stuff like that. I think social media is like the causation of a lot of these things, and Michael Phelps didn't have to deal with that. And so I feel like he was able to, actually reach what people expected of him because he didn't hear what people were expecting of him for years and years and years. Simone Biles has been reading for 5 years now what everyone's expecting of her on social media, Twitter, everything like that. And that's the weight of the world on her shoulders. So, that's really tough for any athlete to come over. So do you think, that's a really long-winded way, do you think Michael Phelps had the same pressure and expectations as Simone Biles had? That's an open question for either one of you.
So let me jump in there, and I will say absolutely. I think the only difference is that somehow he made it through and was able to like kind of figure some shit out. Like, I don't know if it's easier in swimming to hide that from everyone because you're not out there on the floor for hours in between routines and stuff, and you just come out for 5 minutes, hit the pool, do your thing. No, we're not going to show Mike's comment, because if he's not good enough to show up on the show and do his fucking job, we're not going to read that, because there's at least 2 good takes before that in line, which I was going to get to before Scott ruined it. But yeah, and I think he had very similar things. And the other thing to remember is that Robert Taylor pointed out too, Michael Phelps retired twice because of the pressure, and he actually came back from like an absence in the spotlight to make another Olympics run. But he also went into some really dark places once he retired, and it was really hard. And he has had some really frank conversations about it. So I'd encourage everyone to look those up. Robert Taylor also said Simone Biles is the best athlete in history, but I think too, Biscuit has a great take here when he said they changed the rules to go against you, and you have been through hell with coaches and sex abuse, and to do what she did is fucking heroic. Good for her. Completely agree.
Absolutely.
That's such a great way to sum it up. Like,
Well, and that's the whole thing about this is, mental health being at the forefront of the news and everything now with just everything going on. I don't understand how people can say this teenager who's on the world stage doing things that people have never done, is somehow less of a person because she decided, look, in this moment, I don't have it. And I'm not going to go out there and risk my reputation, hurt my team, whatever it is, whatever her reasons were. The fact that she decided to say, look, I'm pulling myself out of this so I can work on me and I can make sure I'm okay. That takes an amazing amount of courage, way more courage than people to sit there on the internet and say, well, she's not mentally tough or she quit on her team when they've never even played sports. And if they did play sports, they've never been on that type of pressure.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And
I agree. Those people that are saying that are probably the same exact people that never made it past Little League.
Hey, don't shake no sticks at Little League. That's all that Todd Frazier had going for him. Okay, man. Before we shift gears here, because I think this is a really good segment. Got a little serious, but I appreciate about it. And thanks, Scott. I was going to hit that one here. Robert Taylor also saying, well, the comment before that, Michael Phelps had the same issues and nobody fucking questioned him. I'm just saying that something ain't right about that. That's all. Or did you say ain't white?
He said ain't white.
But was it?
That was the whole point of bringing up the comment, because really, that's the heart of this whole thing to me.
So when I first read it, that's how I read it, was like the racial component. But then I started reading the words and like the way they stacked up in the sentence. I was like, oh, did he mean right? And then I read it. So I think there's layers there. Yeah, there's something not right about it because I think that nobody questioned Michael about it, but at the same time, you got to question, is that because he is a white male in a sport dominated by them, and Simone is an African American woman in a sport that stereotypically over the years has been okay. Robert Taylor's clearing it up. Racial component 100% purposeful. Listen, man, my Xavier reading skills aren't that great. I apologize profusely for it. Yeah, and Biscuit also commenting that apparently she actually had an injury she was rehabbing from or something. He says also the fact that she doesn't want to further aggravate her injury so she can have a career later. Where's Carrie Strug? Exactly. I will say though, love Carrie Strug. I remember watching that on TV too, and I was just like, oh my god, she had a broken ankle and did this. So before
the thing, though, nobody's taking away anything from Carrie Strug or any athlete who's ever played through a visible injury. But part of the reason I put Mike's comment up there is because I was thinking the same thing along the lines of we've seen athletes who, have been ruled out or not played in big games or whatever it may be. How many times has it been that it's been actually, oh, hey, they had a mental health issue? But when you put out the injury report, it's a strain this or strain that, or, some type of injury that you can't see. And it was actually mental health.
So to be fair, I buried Mike's post, but what Mike said a while back was, how many times in the past has an athlete been ruled out for an injury when in reality it was mental health and we just didn't know it because they buried it to avoid these exact reactions? ? Yeah.
Right.
Great
That's
point.
It drives me nuts that anybody would, harp on a teenager for, doing what she felt was right for herself.
Now, the flip side of that, I want to know how many times did Tom Brady put on the injury report? I'm not feeling well. I'm a little, I've got the mopies, when really he was trying to hide, a knee injury, because that's how Bill Belichick rolls.
I'm not going to make jokes about mental health, man. That's the problem with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like for too long, people have joked or people have glossed over it, or people, say toughen up and act like it's not a serious enough issue to miss games or sit yourself down. But it is. I mean, it's no joke. And the fact that, again, in the last 3 or 4 years, it's come to the forefront as a real problem in this country. Kevin Love comes out and says how much he struggled with it, and there are other athletes. I mean, this is getting on par with the whole athlete coming out while they're playing, because no athlete wants to be looked at as weak or not able to go out there just because their head's not right. So it's easier to make up some injury, or it's easier to say something happened elsewhere than it is and that's a damn shame, because I thought we were headed in the right direction, and this just proves that we're pretty much in the same spot we've always been.
So that's part of what, like, man, I'm wondering with a lot of this, like, this has been on my mind for, wow, probably year and a half, 2 years now, where we've heard all this news and seen all this positive news. I think it was ESPN recently had an all-female MLB broadcast for the first time ever. Does that ring any bells? I don't know. Maybe It wasn't ESPN. Okay, cool. Not crazy. Great. And to me, I love to see these things, but at the same time, there's a part of me that's just like, man, I wish this wasn't news. Like, how is this the first time that has happened? Like, why is that the case that's news? Why is it so remarkable that there were women running this broadcast? Because it's like, why are people being denied jobs when they're capable? Just let people happen. Let things happen. The best should rise to the top. Otherwise, people are putting effort in to hold others down and therefore basically suppress their product even. It doesn't make any sense to me. Being angry, vengeful, and hateful is so much more work than just accepting people and moving on. Like, let people be themselves, man. It just drives me fucking nuts.
No, I agree.
Speaking of moving on.
Moving on.
Thank God, Ayden. Thank God,
because so I guess we got to move on.
Because we needed to, but there was no good way to get out of that one. Other than
we could talk about that
politics.
We could talk about that for hours, honestly. But we've spent enough time on it.
Oh shit.
So
Exactly.
now we're going to talk about baseball in the Olympics. And I want to know, guys, do you feel like it's a problem, a disappointment, another shortcoming that the U.S. women's softball team ended up getting a silver against Japan?
No. See, because I don't think it's.
I was going to say, would you like to elaborate on that, Scott?
Well, no, I'm just saying, I don't think it's as much of a problem as we make it out to be as far as our dominance. Like, I know we're struggling and we're used to a level that we're not seeing so far in the Olympics. But again, when I looked at the medal count, I'm like, well, we're still in first. Like, how much do we think we're owed when it comes to the Olympics? Like, yes, we're not picking coconuts off trees like Mookie suggested that other countries are doing. But
bro, that was a verified fact. Okay,
Sure,
they went and they did deep background on that one. I'm gonna find
we don't
this
have a
shit for you.
birthright to the Olympics, and as fun as it is to dominate and win a bunch of medals, like at what cost? And all the people that say that they are pretending like they care right now. In 2 weeks, they're going to go back to, I don't really watch the Olympics anyway. Like, it's just an excuse for every 4 years to throw on an American flag, and drape an American flag around you. But, it doesn't matter the rest of the time. It's just when it's convenient.
So I appreciate that take, but honestly, what I was more curious about was literally us losing to Japan in softball. Like, I kind of thought we had the upper hand. That's what I'm saying. I expected our women to win that. I thought we were national. I thought we were the favorites heading in, and we had to come back.
Like, so what though? Silver isn't a failure, and if we thought we were gonna win, I mean, that's one thing. But the games still have to play themselves out. Like, I've just looked at it. I've kind of flipped my perspective on this whole thing because I was kind of in that same camp before, where it's like I just want to go out there and U.S. needs to win all the golds, or it was a big old failure. But you know what? I mean, if we win the overall medal count, and at the end of the day, we're still gonna, just because of the pure number of athletes we have playing, the number of sports we do. Like, I mean, that's good enough, isn't it? Like, because what do we gain at the end of the day by having the most gold medals? Like, there isn't any type of money awarded. It'd be
hold on a minute now.
What would be nice is if we gain some of the respect we've lost over the past decade around the world. That'd be nice.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. But what I want to make clear then is what you're saying is that there is no such thing as expected titles. And if you don't get there, it's a disappointment. So why can't everyone get the fuck off LeBron's case and realize he's better than Jordan?
Well, this is an awkward spot. I mean, I'm not on LeBron's case, obviously. And when I say there's nothing about it being expected, I'm talking about when you're talking about competing worldwide with other countries. Now, within individual sports, and obviously, even the Olympics, there's favorites and all. But I'm just saying there shouldn't be this outcry of, oh my God, we're such failures and things are going so horribly for us. When, I mean, the big picture is we're still winning overall. Like, yeah, it might not be by 1,000,000 points, but hey, you know what? When you look at the basketball team, the rest of the world's caught up with us, right? It's embarrassing to lose to France like they did the other day, right? But if they win by 2 or 3
it's always embarrassing to lose to France.
As long as they win.
Wait, Ayden, hold on. Before you go that route, we got to touch on this jersey. So you're rocking Turkey?
Let me check for you really quick. I am currently rocking a team that I cannot pronounce the name of, but they are in the Turkish league.
How do you own a jersey that you don't know?
Beşiktaş?
You think I've owned any of these jerseys, Scott? Now that's the first lesson for you. None of these jerseys are mine. Not a single one of these have been mine. I'm not at my house.
Carry on.
Yeah, no. I'll give this my best attempt, and I hope you guys like it. This is the jersey of Galatasaray. They're in the Turkish league.
Oh,
I'm getting a thumbs up that I announced that correctly.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Your buddy's right there.
I mean, yeah, he's in the room. He's my boss, but yeah, he's in the room
also your boss. True,
but he also is my buddy. Yes.
Is he cool to say hi before we sign off today? I mean, I feel like he deserves at least a minor cameo, and with how badly tonight's gone, it can't be anything but an uplift for us, right?
Let me ask him really quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while he does that, before we transition out of Olympic stuff, I did have one angle on it that I was going to throw out there. And
Go ahead, man.
the way that everything's gone, I was going to ask you guys. Now I realize I only have 2 out of the 10 that I wanted for this, but like, what are the other Olympics that you've been interested in watching over these Olympics? Oh, scratch all that. Ayden's got his boss with us. Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for keeping him off the streets, man. Like, we were worried about him.
Yeah, I was worried about him too. Really, I just, he had to have somewhere to sleep, I guess, so he could work still. That's really
See, now that's important. Yeah,
I'm
you
also
got.
seeing the exact thing that Ayden said 2 weeks ago, where he was like, "My boss is actually just another me. Like I'm an exact replica."
Pretty much. It's kind of scary. We order the same exact food at most restaurants. We have the same car. There's a lot of similarities that just do not make sense. And
Do you guys pick the same fry at the same time?
you broke out, and I didn't hear that question.
Damn it.
I heard French fries.
I heard something.
All I know,
I
though,
was being
is
a
that
smart ass. Never mind.
all I know is that he's the boss, though, and Ayden's not. So he's got
That is
that leg
true.
up on you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, this is. Robert Taylor says he's so confused right now. Good. That means the
Are we
segment's
seeing
working.
double right now? Like, this is
God,
a
I
lot
would
more
hope
difficult
so.
than it should be, but it's like a mirror image between my arm.
So
and
should
me and him.
we give him a name or just leave him as Ayden's boss? I feel like that's that could play well, or at the same time, I don't want to be disrespectful.
I mean,
It's fine.
The fact
His
that
name's
Drew's
It's
Jack.
worried about
fine.
being disrespectful is a big.
All right. Ayden's boss, Jack. Are you drinking anything tonight? You got anything to weigh in there on the Olympic scale?
I can get something real quick.
Oh yeah,
he's got a lot of beer
hey.
in his fridge, so he'll
I
be
mean,
right
we
back.
always encourage beer drinking, so yeah, go for
All
it.
right.
All right, cool. So while Ayden's boss Jack is getting a brew, Scott, I was tossing over to you. Say, are there any Olympics that you would rather watch than these?
Beer Olympics.
There you go. What are Scott's beer Olympics like? What are the events included in said Olympics?
Getting my internet to work. The 2 by not doing the show on my phone. Just about anything where technology actually works. Those are the Olympic events that I want to see.
Cool, great take. Hey, Ayden's boss Jack is back. What you drinking tonight, man?
I've got a Terrapin Recreation Ale. It's a local Athens brew.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
It's a IPA.
What's the
Oh,
percent?
that's always a solid choice. All right, so the rating scale tonight was your. Well, wait, Scott, what was it again? You had a specific one.
Oh, I said it was. Well, I had a specific one, and then I couldn't really remember because I was going to do something about the NCAA, which we'll get to in a minute. But it was going to be from like, I guess the NCAA staying as it is, all the way up to chaos.
Just do Olympic. Thought I was muted. No worries. I was not muted. Scott, the scale you just gave, I didn't understand. I don't think he understood. Didn't make sense. Jack, give your beer rating off of your Olympic scale.
I think this is it's
Olympic memory.
Olympic memory. I don't really have the direct memory, but Miracle on Ice. I mean, that's what this beer is. So,
Nice, solid take.
do you believe in
Solid.
miracles? Yes.
This show being good, that would be a miracle. Like this week's episode with no connection.
Good.
We're
I'm
trying our
selling
best.
for okay at this point. Like, let's be honest here.
This is one of the worst experiences ever for this show.
Yeah.
And I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty bad when Mike's internet went out, but holy crap.
And you know what the thing is that pisses me off about this the most, Scott? Oh, wrong button. I intentionally try to stay semi-sober heading into the show tonight because it's like, all right, Mike's not going to be there. It's just going to be me and Scott with Ayden running the board. Like, gotta at least be semi-responsible for helping the show's structure and content.
Got foed up.
Yeah, I should have gotten blacked out, and this probably would have been so much better. But I was going to say, the Olympics that I would actually rather be watching right now is the ones that the Mighty Ducks were playing in, because it would have been so much more entertaining. I mean, can you just imagine seeing Goldberg in the Olympic Village at the buffets? Dude would crush it. He would clear them out of every single fucking food on the planet. And then you would have Gordon Bombay huffing and puffing around, getting himself into trouble, just mad as hell because he's only 5'4". I mean, it'd be absolutely amazing. But mostly because at the end of it all, you know that Mr. Conway himself would do whatever it takes to bring home that gold. And not
Ayden
because
has no
winning
idea
is
what you're talking
important, but because team building, togetherness, and love is what rules the day. How great would that be? Cool. Not the right way to transition there, but really before we
Moving on.
the last thing I want to throw out to you, Scott, I need you specifically to answer this because you are literally the only one on the show equipped to do so. I want to see an Olympics that puts Jordan's Space Jam team up against LeBron's Space Jam team. Who wins that matchup? Olympic rules.
Jordan's.
Are they not the exact same team other than Michael versus LeBron? This is really just a Michael versus LeBron question in disguise.
Wait,
I mean, maybe, but
way to snuff that one out, Aiden.
I'm just like, you didn't even try to hide this. Like, this was not much of a disguise.
Which is why we're gonna make the transition over to football. All right, so last week we
we gotta do the commercial thing.
What? No, yeah,
we
this
got
show's fucked. We're not worried about the commercials right now. It's 8:50. Like, I'm not worried about the commercials. Hey, guess what? We have a bunch of sponsors, and when our computers are working, it's better. But hey, we're going to talk about the NCAA because
You should
last
also
week,
listen to Belly Up Sports because they got a lot of other great podcasts. The only one I can think of right now off the top of my head is Slapshot Sweethearts and the drunk guys from down south.
you can't remember Corner Booth Pod?
Corner Booth Pod, there it is. I was going to say, well, not that.
Anyway, last week Mike was pissed because we didn't bring up the whole fact that Texas and Oklahoma had been in conversations with the SEC about moving on over there, and then it came true this week. Turns out, what are we looking at? 2023 when
I heard
Texas and Oklahoma
2025.
moving on.
2025.
2025. Okay.
Yeah.
So either way, the deterioration in the NCAA continues now that athletes are getting paid. We now have the conferences starting to collapse even further from the Big Five. I am ecstatic about this whole thing because the idea that Texas and Oklahoma, who have been carrying the carcass of the Big 12 around for quite a while now, just jumping ship and being like, we don't want to be in here anymore, is only surpassed by the fact that they didn't talk to the SEC didn't say anything to Texas A&M when this whole thing was going on. So this backdoor deal went on without the knowledge of Texas A&M, who might have an issue with Texas and Oklahoma joining. But I am super excited that this is probably going to lead to the demise of football in the NCAA.
Oh, man, I'm torn on this one, to be honest. Like, look, I'm all for getting rid of the NCAA in football. Like, we kind of already did with the college football playoff committee. Like, there is actually no relation between those two organizations. Scott, that's a beautiful drop right there. That snap crack and just you can hear the fresh beer flowing. Nah, I think this is one that, like, you take Rex Ryan out back to the backyard, he burns the thing and just buries it in the ground, and we just move on. But my concern is, honestly, how is this going to affect other sports? And I know people are quick to say, who gives a shit about, badminton or whatever the fuck. Yeah, okay, fair. But at the same time, like, there's things, I don't know, dude. I was just trying to pick an Olympic sport that they play in school still, like, to be honest, badminton's actually super entertaining. Have you ever seen him smack that birdie? Like, holy shit, man.
No, but more importantly, Mike's take was, and
Oh, by the way, I can't see any comments because I had to delete that thing, or else my thing would have crashed too. So,
Oh yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm sitting here just trying to be on the air, so I haven't checked any comments. But Mike's take and a couple others out there is that basically this is going to dissolve football from the NCAA. So when you're saying that people are, you're worried about other sports, does it even matter? Because if they're
well,
not in the NCAA anymore, won't those sports have to sustain themselves somehow otherwise?
so what you're saying is it's a world where the NCAA, or actually, you're saying there is. If there is no ACC, Big 12, SEC, Big 10, whatever in football, is there still going to be one in the other sports? Like that's
Yeah,
where I
I
guess
mean,
I
this
get.
was essentially like Mike's take was more or less that this is just going to have football break off from the NCAA altogether and have schools form their own league.
Right, but if schools are forming their own league for football, like the ACC, like the conferences are separate from the NCAA. And so I think what you're saying is the conferences are basically going to be like, F you NCAA, get the hell out of here. But oh, also, by the way, still run like all those other sports leagues and competitions. Like
Well,
still
you
do
know
March
why that would be
Madness and
the
the
case,
Frozen
though.
Four.
Well, you know why that would be the case, though, is because that the NCAA stands to make nothing and just completely dissolve because all of a sudden the schools decide, we don't need you and we're going to have, none of the sports. We'll just have this football league. I mean, they lose out altogether. So the NCAA will do whatever they can to keep football for sure, but they're definitely not going to want to lose all those other sports. So if you're thinking that, a school like Alabama or something like that, the NCAA would be like, oh, well, you can't compete in any of the other sports because you guys broke off in football. There's not a chance in hell of that happening. They'll still take whatever money those schools will generate in the other sports. Then there'll be less of a commitment to have to worry about paying, the golf team or whatever the hell everybody's concern was about the lower tier programs getting cut or not funded as much as, football and basketball.
So what you're saying is that the ACC, for example, will continue to exist in its entirety for the non-football sports and participate in the NCAA competitions kind of the way they do now. Like for basketball, for example, they have the ACC season, the non-conference, and then March Madness.
Sure.
But then the football team just goes off and does whatever in the new Super League conference thingy majigger.
Yeah. Like,
okay,
the individual sport can break off from the NCAA. It's not like they need NCAA.
I feel like, it'd be like really helpful in all this.
Internet that didn't suck?
Well, that's true too. Like a picture. Can someone just draw me a picture? I do really well with pictures.
Okay, so I got a question. In this hypothetical situation, and I don't think that it's going to happen like tomorrow because Texas and Oklahoma leaving for the SEC means.
No, Scott, now with a picture with your words, like literally crayon and like paper.
What?
I want a picture with crayon and paper.
Yeah. That's great. I'm going to ask you a different question, though, to paint a different picture. So, assuming that something
Way
like
to invalidate my feelings, dick.
That's what we do. So, assuming that this league were to happen and you're looking at it, I'm thinking something along the lines of 20 to 25 teams. And obviously, we know the usual suspect, but where does the cutoff come?
Wait.
Like,
hold on. Stop. You said 25 teams is your upper bound?
I'm not saying that there would necessarily be, but I'm saying if there was a cutoff for this league, I would think 25 would be, because then you could have 5 teams in each division within this league. But I mean, because the top 25 is generally so fluid, where is the line of, all right, this team has enough tradition, whatever, like enough sway, makes enough money to where they can be in the league versus out?
So
I don't think UCF is making it in this league regardless.
No, I get that. I think you're taking like a step further than I was. I was looking at as you'd have the ACC, Big 10, SEC, and then like whatever is worth saving from the Pac-12, Big 12, and at large. Like essentially those 4 conferences, right? Those 3 conferences and then like the scraps. And you combine them all together in what I would say would probably be at that point, like, what is that? Like a 50-team league with divisions maybe, or whatever the fuck. But like, that's how I was thinking about it. But you're going a lot smaller than that.
Yeah, no, I think this is if this were to happen, I would think it would be a much more exclusive club because you don't want the overhead from any of the teams that aren't bringing in enough money.
Okay, so you're putting Aiden to sleep with your dumbass ideas. Aiden, what do you think about any of these rumors? What's the buzz down there on campus in Georgia? What are the people on the front lines, the people that matter? What are the students saying?
Yeah, so it's summer right now. I'm not in an actual class, so I have not spoken to any students recently. So I can't tell you what the University of Georgia students are thinking about this rumor slash news. That's what I got for you.
I was not expecting you to be in class, Aiden. I was expecting you to be in the college bars.
Hey, man, that's on me. I have not been to a bar recently, so I will.
Oh, right,
take the fault
COVID.
on
Sorry,
that
I forgot
one.
about that angle.
UGA students have not been caring about COVID downtown for the entirety of COVID. So,
Good to know.
yeah, I have been, but I have not been downtown
Attaboy.
since COVID happened. So,
True.
don't have any information for you there. I'm sorry.
Wait, what about on like the TikTok?
The
You
TikTok.
think I'm on the TikTok?
Damn, I was really
Sound
hoping to get
older.
a spit take there because I saw you taking the last chug and I was like, oh man, if I can get him to spew this, that'd be great.
I'm sorry. I held it in for you. My bad. I'll let it out next time.
Speaking of which, I was trying to get you to spew it all over. Now, I think if you just sit up a little bit. Okay, is it at a French club jersey?
Argentinian.
Oh, I'm out. Yeah, I have no idea then. Who
This
you
is
rocking
River
right now?
Plate.
Damn, for real. That's respect, bro.
Thank God Aiden decided he was going to come in here and have a wardrobe change every 5 minutes because this show would be even more of a disaster without this.
And I'm gonna just push
God,
past the fact.
Aiden's boss Jack came up with the idea. Of like, hey, I have all these soccer jerseys.
Cheers
Would you
to
like
Jack.
to like wear one? And then we talked about it for a few minutes and came up like, dude, every time the camera switches, just put a different one on. And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. And he even sent me the list over text of what I'm wearing in order.
Yes.
So yeah, Jack's got the plug and the hookup on this one. So shout out Jack.
I want to make a motion on the floor. Okay, I motion that now he's not just Aiden's boss Jack. He's Aiden's boss Jack, comma friend of the show. Scott,
I do think he's a friend of the show. Absolutely.
I'm seconding that. He
right.
made a great first impression, so we'll keep him.
Perfect.
We got a fist bump from him when he heard that, so I'll take it. He's
better.
pretty excited about that.
Congratulations, Jack! You're part of this shit show officially.
Yeah. Three losers in Ohio like you, so that's got to do something for your self-esteem, right?
And one in Athens, Georgia. Come on now, let's.
Well, no, but
let's check all the boxes.
I assume he already knew that. That's all.
To be determined on whether or not he actually knew that, but we'll see.
Fair. So, Aiden, did you bring your Kong Bong with you on your hobo adventures?
Unfortunately not. It is stuck in storage right now, so that's completely on me. I wish I had that wonderful tool.
But you know what? I think you made the right choice because you kept it safe, right? Like you're not going to lose it as you move around couch to couch and all that, because that would be absolutely a disaster. So, while we move on to the next topic, because I feel like there's no better time than right now to do our Kong Bong segment here. Aiden, I'm going to toss it to you. If you're cool with that, you want to touch on the Aaron Rodgers saga at all, or honestly, anything else that's on your mind, my man?
Nah, you know what, Aiden, for just a minute while this is
Scott, you're completely black screen, and that is not racialist at all. Like it's
there. Oh no!
Race card.
Well, we had Mike on the show one way or the other.
Hey. So, all right, Scott, what are you want to take away the Aaron Rodgers? I'm gonna Kong Bong.
Yeah, no, you go ahead. I was going to, and you're gonna leave it up on Aiden. I was going to, or you can leave it up on you. It didn't matter. I was going to go on ahead and just get all the drops in while you all the sponsorship reads. So,
let's do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say while Mookie bongs his beer from our good friends over at good God, this
Kong Bong.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh.
that's not the problem. I remembered Kong Bon. I'm like, where are all the graphics for it? Oh, okay, cool. There it is. Anyway, in the meantime, we're also sponsored by Beer Drop. And look, nobody likes to go out to the store and deal with people. Instead, let our friends over at Beer Drop save you a trip. Beer Drop will deliver award-winning craft beer straight to your door. Starting at under $4 a serving, it's simple. Just tell them the types of beer you prefer, sign up one of their monthly plans, and Beer Drop will curate a box of fresh, award-winning craft beer that'll be sent right to your door. You don't even have to put on pants, because Mookie doesn't. You can swap out beers and more, or
Hey-o.
even skip a month like I did. And if you don't like commitment, you don't have to. You can still order delicious beers individually to be delivered right to you. Just head on over to Beer Drop and use our our link, craftbrewsports.com/beer drop, and you'll get $5 flat shipping. That's craftbrewsports.com/beer drop. And then baseball season is still going on, and whether you like it or
Oh,
not,
man.
there's two things that make baseball great: dingers and bat flips. So how about you step up to the plate
And
and blast one to
slingers.
dead center field with our friends over at Dugout Mugs? You can flip your baseball bat mug if you want, but it's probably better just to pour your beer into it. With Dugout Mugs, it can be baseball season all year long, and if you go to dugoutmugs.com/craft, you'll get 15% off your entire order. All of your favorite teams, except for the Yankees, because they don't deal with terrorists. Custom designs, wine glasses made from bats, shot glasses and bat handles, and bottle openers made from bats and baseballs. They've got it all. Dugout Mugs has the perfect option for the baseball fan in your life. Hit them up. Get 15% off at dugoutmugs.com/craft. That's dugoutmugs.com/craft. Dugout Mugs. Swig for the fences. And last call is
Wait.
brought to you,
Oh.
but we're not going to do last call. We're just going to do all the drops at the same time. So this is being brought to you by More
But you
Labs.
didn't talk about the metal bats.
I know I didn't do that because I'm just trying to get through this, man. Good
Dude, you
God.
can do it, Scott. You can do it, Scott. I believe in you.
Dugout Mug has metal bats for pre-order right now, so you might want to go over and get one. My wife got one for me. I'm super excited for them to come out. But go on over to Dugout Mugs and
Pay
check them out.
attention, shorties.
Yes. Anyway, More Labs. Drink one bottle of morning recovery while you're partying and bounce back quickly the next morning. Guaranteed. Go to morelabs.com and use the code SPORTS at checkout for 20% off your non-subscription purchase. Dear God, that's over with.
Hey, you know what the best part is, Scott?
I don't know. Me trying to
20
figure out how
minutes
to turn
and
off
we can
things.
pull the motherfucking ripcord and get out of here.
That's true.
And leave this horseshit of a show behind us. So,
Who's a
How
what?
do we get out of this?
oh, you got to
Yeah,
click
that's a
on
good
that
question because
thing.
now I don't even know.
Boom shakalaka! It's still so funny because he's so fat.
I don't
All
know why you
right.
did the basketball transition, though. We're still talking about football. There's training
'Cause
camp
it was the
opening
first
this
one I
week, and you
clicked.
mentioned Aaron Rodgers.
I
so
mean,
let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. So Mookie, for some reason, inexplicably has the camera on himself as he continues to Kong Bong. Aaron
well, isn't that the
Rodgers.
point?
Without this,
Aaron Rodgers,
Oh,
what the
fuck.
hell off-season saga was this? So, again, unless you've been living underneath a rock, Aaron Rodgers basically held the Packers hostage this offseason, saying that he wanted nothing to do with them because they hadn't put enough talent around him.
I know that one.
Hadn't drafted guys that he wanted to, be there and play with. Still a little butthurt over Jordan Love getting drafted last year in the first round when he still thinks he's got plenty of time left. But
he does.
somehow at the end, spoiler alert, he doesn't. Somehow at the end of all this, it ended up that the Packers and Aaron made a backdoor deal. This will be his last year in Green Bay, and then he's free to go. So it almost seemed like all of this was for a big nothing because Aaron Rodgers ends up reporting to camp. He'll still be playing for the Packers, and everybody wins for, I guess, another season. So one more year of the Packers losing in the playoffs before Aaron Rodgers skips out of town and I guess goes somewhere he's more appreciated.
And joins the Denver Broncos, where intern Ayden happens to be a fan of the team and will like. And as you know, the great Peyton Manning did, will win an MVP and a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos, and I'm here for it. So keep
Aiden
going,
thinks that
Scott.
he's
You were
going
doing
to
great,
Denver.
but
So Aiden thinks he's
No,
going
I
to
need
Denver.
to hear
but
more about this. Yeah.
I don't buy
dude,
it.
100% he's going
So,
to
all right.
Denver. Denver is so good at every position except for, wait for it, quarterback. Insert Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl. That's all I'm gonna say.
But
Watch this
but
in 365 days, and I'm probably wrong, but I feel confident right now.
Well, we're good at being wrong here. If there's one thing we're good at,
That's a good point.
I don't know. I don't understand the point of all this shit. Like, was it really just to sell, ad space on ESPN, on NFL Live? Like, I can't believe, like, what the hell was the purpose of all of this? Like, is it basically like them saying, look, Aaron, play for us for another year just because we can't lose you yet, but we'll let you get the fuck out of here afterwards? Like, how does that serve his purpose at all, too? Like, I'm not saying he had
I
the
think what
power in
it
the
all boiled down
situation.
to is that the Packers were thinking that he was on the end of his career, and instead he went out and won the damn MVP. And it's very hard to be like, hey, we're going to take the MVP of the league at quarterback, the main position in this league, the only position that really matters is you're worried about being in contention, and just let him walk or punt him and have him move on. I mean, he's now the longest tenured Green Bay quarterback ever. So there's that.
So exactly what Scott said. But have you guys not heard the news? Like, have either of you heard?
Which news?
He got Randall Cobb. They put talent around him.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
He,
it's all
like,
over
he
now.
insisted on it too. He
The league
insisted.
and the season right now. The Packers got Randall Cobb. They finally surrounded Aaron Rodgers with talent. It's over. It's done.
I like
Devontae
that was
Adams
his
ain't shit.
first thing that made him happy was having his
right?
old
Like,
battery
why?
mate from like 5 years ago. Randall
Look.
Cobb is infinitely past his prime.
Well, and he wasn't even that great then either. Like, he was a solid number two.
No. I mean, he was legit.
What, Randall Cobb? You would say Randall Cobb was a number one wide receiver.
I didn't say
Randall
number
Cobb
one
was
wide
never
receiver,
the
but he was a
Packers'
legit
first
weapon.
receiver.
But that's what I'm saying.
That
He was
is
a legit weapon, but he was a number two at best. And now 5 years later, you're going to stick around because they pick up Randall Cobb. Like,
Well, right.
he's
That's
just
what
trying to
makes
flex
the
his
whole
tiny
thing
little dick a
absurd.
little bit. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. I don't
Speaking
get it.
of dumb, though, it came out this week that with everybody reporting, including Deshaun Watson, that Houston's like, hey, guys, we'll actually field offers for him now, which is interesting because they spent the entire offseason saying they had no plans to trade him. And it was a little bit difficult if you know about Deshaun Watson and his offseason going.
Yeah.
But what's more absurd is that Houston is asking for a king's ransom. They want 5 high picks, including players that are currently playing. So I think they wanted something like a package of 3, first round picks and 2 starters or something absurd.
Wait, so hold on. I gotta say, Scott, when I hear, what did you say, 5 high picks, I hear like Ricky Williams, Chris Henry, basically anyone from San Francisco. Like,
wow.
I feel like you could actually offer that Ayden. You could probably offer that up pretty easily, right?
I mean, yeah, an offer could be made, but who wants to pony up anything for Deshaun Watson when the text I got yesterday was that now 10 women have corroborated different stories against Deshaun Watson. Yeah, that screams, let's trade away the future of our franchise for a guy who might be in jail in a year or two.
See, Scott, you say 10. I thought I'd heard it was like much higher number.
Well, yeah, the total number of women is higher, but as far as the ones that have like put their name and story out there specifically to, I think, lawyers, like I think there's 10 like officially confirmed, because there was something along the lines of, if you don't reveal your identity and you're just a Jane Doe, like they can kind of dismiss it. But as soon as they put,
you got to be able to face your accuser.
There's 10
Bill of Rights kind of shit.
Put their name out there and their story out there, so it's like an impossible situation. If you're any other team, I mean, I'd call up Houston and be like, "We'll give you a 7th round draft pick and a conditional 3rd."
Yeah, see, no, this is where I'd go even less because I think it's more of not even the Jane Doe thing. It's like, hey, so we got 30 women. We only need to use 10 right now because if we can convict you on all of them, you fucked. And if for some reason you slip away like OJ, well, we'll just throw the next 10 at you and we'll keep doing that until we nail you for the shit you deserve to, answer for. Which to me basically says he's fucked, man. This dude is up a creek. Like, if I was any other team in the NFL, I would trade him for nothing. His ass gonna be cut and serving prison time. Like, I don't know how you get around that. He can come back at Michael Vick style, maybe, and redeem himself. But I honestly think if anything of this is true, and with that volume of reports, you got to imagine like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh yeah, this is mostly true.
He ain't ever playing again. Flat out. Like, I ain't trading shit for this guy. Houston should have been spending the offseason finding another motherfucking quarterback for that matter.
They did. They got Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor has been the starting quarterback for a playoff team before in the past. Drew,
And
you have a question.
If you factor in the fact that Tyrod Taylor
Borussia Dortmund,
the starter going into multiple seasons, and if it wasn't for a doctor, puncturing his lung last year with the Chargers,
give me that.
getting hurt when he was with the Browns.
Right.
Like Tyrod Taylor, this might be his first legit shot that doesn't go sideways.
Look, I really, really hope that for Tyrod because I feel like he's a solid dude and he's had a couple shots that went sideways. He was in Cleveland. Didn't he bust his finger in Cleveland? I don't know. I'm still staring at Scott's amazing beard other than it just makes me want to touch it. But he wasn't in Cleveland when Baker came in as a rookie and busted his finger, and then Baker came in. Obviously, we all know about him getting stabbed in the lung by the friggin' doctor.
I was just gonna say this. It's now happened to him 3 times. He was in Buffalo for Josh Allen.
So the Chargers.
He was in Cleveland for Baker, and then he was out in San Diego for Herbert.
Man, and the thing that always killed me about him in Buffalo with Josh Allen is like when Josh Allen's a stud now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to throw shade now, but like at the time, he wouldn't shit. Like he was more of a running quarterback than he was a passing quarterback.
Toy, man.
Yeah, I mean,
teams are all about getting those high round draft picks in the game, no matter what it costs. So it's like the first sign of anything. It's like, all right, well, we're gonna go with the new guy.
Well, and Josh Allen is pretty white to begin with, and he was living in Buffalo, so he's probably super shiny.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Really, like you're so white that it reflects off of you?
Mayonnaise white.
Moving on.
Thank you for that, Ayden. We're running low on time. We've only got 13 minutes, so
thank God, only
probably
13 more
time
minutes.
we start to head towards the finish line.
I agree.
Good news. We ain't got shit else to talk about.
Well, I mean,
I do have a quick
we wasted
question
the first
for
30
Drew.
minutes with the internet fucking me over. So,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Really quick question.
Time flies when the technology's screwing you. Ayden's got on a New Jersey though, so there's that.
So, all right.
What are we thinking?
Ayden's Crystal Palace. That's easy.
There we go. Good work.
Also, I finally sourced the article about the Tahitian soccer team. So, back in 2013, Tahiti lost to Nigeria in the Confederation Cup. Now, that is a national team tournament in soccer where if you win your it's like a subcontinent region kind of thing. If you win that, you get to compete in this thing. And so Tahiti sent a team because they beat a bunch of other islands. And their team had only one professional player. The other players on the team were part-time players, and some of their jobs include delivery man, truck driver, gym teacher, and accountant. One player climbed coconut trees for a living. Teheveri Ludivan. I tried, man.
Expert.
I'm sure that's exactly how it's pronounced.
Teheveri Ludivan. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like it was a pretty good effort. Yeah.
Flawless.
They definitely had awesome celebrations when they scored their one goal ever. and they also gave up like 35 goals in 3 games. But the best part about it is that they scored a goal in FIFA international competition, like the highest level of competition. Mike, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, man. This is legit story, and it's a super uplifting moment in soccer. Again, sports that uplift a nation, uplifts a people. And you can keep putting the comment up there, but I'm going to talk about it because, like, these dudes showed up and they played. Like, these were guys that were doing it for the love of the game, and they went out there to represent their country, even though they got humiliated on an international stage. But they competed for all 90 plus minutes of 3 matches, and they did themselves well. As a matter of fact, out of their demonstration in the group stage, I believe 6 of their players actually got professional international club contracts. And as a result, again, helping, uplift the profile of their country, get them the respect they deserve. And it's a heartwarming story because these dudes, they were modern day Mighty Ducks.
Moving on.
That was
Not
really
sure
well
why
done.
the soccer played.
Well, because we were talking about soccer.
Okay, cool,
I
cool.
mean-
We got 10 minutes, so we're just going to go on ahead and start to wrap things up. Let's
We're gonna
talk
talk
about
about
the
our beers now?
we're drinking tonight because it has been a disaster of a show. But hey, we still got
Hey.
obligations, so we're going to finish out. Mookie, what were you drinking tonight?
Tonight I was drinking Stratophonic IPA from Levante Brewing Company. Absolutely fantastic. Went down super fast, although it was actually really hoppy, which is great. It was a little bubbly, like it was a little bit live, if you will. So a little bit of downgrade for that, but honestly couldn't recommend it more. Super delicious drinking New England IPA. On the Olympic scale, I would rate it anytime the U.S. women win gold in soccer. It's always a good time. They all kind of blend together because it happens often enough, but I still want it so badly to happen the next time that I cannot wait for it. So I think Stratophonic completely fits into that mold, and that's why I'm going to rate it a U.S. women's national team gold medal.
Cool. Ayden, what were you drinking tonight?
Scott gives 0 fucks right now.
First of all, I'm pissed, and I'm going to tell you why in a second.
Atlanta United.
But thank you. Yeah, I mean, goated. But I was drinking Old Chub from Oscar Blues Brewery. It's a Scotch ale, 8% alcohol. And the reason why I'm upset is because I was going to say this is Brandy Chastain ripping off the jersey after hitting a penalty kick in the sports bra seen around the world as she slid on her knees in the grass. That's what I was going to say. And then Drew just goes, oh, women's soccer winning gold at the Olympics. That's about what but I had a specific example. And
but
so
Ayden,
I'm mad.
Ayden, do you remember when she did that?
No, I don't think I was.
That was in the World Cup, wasn't it?
It was the Women's World Cup.
All right, I'm embarrassed. All right, do you want me to admit that I'm wrong?
I was just gonna say you're still in play, man. You're still in play.
These are not my jerseys. I don't know soccer. What do you want from me?
I don't know soccer.
Scott,
I'm a '90s guy. Damn.
Exactly. Scott, what are you drinking? Rate it on the scale.
Oh man, I was drinking another strawberry milkshake dipper. For the second week in a row, I wanted to see which one would be better. Last week I had strawberry schmickles, and this week I had just straight up double strawberry milkshake from Weldworks Brewing. Basically the same formula, but holy God, I just want strawberry dippers in my mouth all the time. I'm pretty sure that I found my preferred method of drinking any type of IPA, and that's just to add all the lactose, milk, sugar, and then some type of fruit and call it a milkshake, and I'm fucking in. These things are baller. No, we're not going off the Olympic scale for 2 weeks in a row, Mike. That's just kind of what we fell into because earlier I had an idea. And
why do you keep giving him a forum to give his input? He doesn't count nor matter right now. He ditched us.
Yeah, but he's still here in spirit.
I understand that. And earlier today, I was chatting with him on Google, and I was like, Mike, you should just come on the show, open the mic, open the video, and just let it be you and the boys in the background. Like, it'll be great.
Can't be any worse than this shit show.
Obviously, he didn't even respond because clearly he didn't think it was funny. But now, with the way things went down, clearly it would have added to the mix. I mean,
So I do have one more thing to say is would you like Aiden's boss Jack to come on and rate his beer last second?
Yes,
absolutely.
Jack, come
All
back
right.
one more time.
All right, Aiden's boss
Also,
Jack.
Star Wars Episode 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even run out of jerseys. I've got more. I just didn't want to
You've
put it
just
on.
run
I
out of
thought we were done.
dedication. Celtic.
Exactly. I tried.
Norwich City.
Wow.
Get wrecked, first of
Yeah,
all.
fair. Oh, I see it in the replay. Yeah, the crest. All right, Aiden's boss Jack, friend of the show. What were you drinking tonight, and what do you rate it?
Terrapin Recreation Ale, and I rate it
Olympic scale still.
Olympic scale. So the Redeem team coming back after
Nice.
U.S. didn't win the gold, and LeBron and Kobe just destroying it.
Oh,
Maybe that's
Good
a
times.
long-term U.S.
LeBron and
plan.
Kobe.
Every 2 or 3 Olympics, they're like, we're going to suck so that the next time we have some sort of redemption arc and everybody will love us again. It gets boring if you're dominating Olympics after Olympics. So maybe if you throw in one where you're kind of just meh, the rest of the country will respect you. But I mean, that's, of course,
You know what,
if your country's
Scott,
not picking coconuts.
Scott, you know what that take sounds like? The take of a loser.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Cool.
By
Well,
the way,
speaking of losers, this is-
Scott, he has a
Yeah.
name, and his name is Terhiveri Ludeman.
Nailed it.
Dick. Throw some
Killed it.
respect on his
Oh,
name.
dear God. This has been a show.
So, like, we
thank
get to
you
hang
guys
up now,
for
right?
tuning in. It was a nightmare of a scenario. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I've been hosting this damn show from my phone in between.
You've been hosting.
Yeah, you heard me, motherfucker. I said
I've
hosting.
been hosting.
Yeah, no, wait. Jack's been
no,
hosting.
I've been hosting.
Because let's be honest, between the beers and the jerseys provided, this was Jack's show.
That's true, yeah.
This was Jack's show.
Jack
When I
will
send you
Venmo.
videos, I'll say Jack's show.
Perfect. We'll Venmo you some cash, just keep our buddy Aiden off the streets. And Aiden, we don't want to claim any ownership over the show. Let Scott take it all. Let him take the fall.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll say
that's
Scott's
going to
show.
do it for us, guys. Thanks for joining us. You can follow